That's on my cash stack. High yields on stable coins, yeah, that's where my bag at. All I really need is Wi-Fi. Get money on DeFi. Mega cash on MetaMask. You better run when the runners run. Show you how to get your money up. Dollar inflated like bubble gum. Markets are jumping like double dutch. Buying up gold till I get a ton. Crypto, yeah, I got some. You better run when the runners run. You better run when the runners run.
Welcome in, everyone. Happy Tuesday. The runners are here ready to help you guys secure your bag and become free. Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024. We got the man, the myth, the legend, Ricardo Hamilton, a.k.a. Mims, making it make sense. What's going down, bro?
Man, I'm feeling good, brother. Man, excited for tonight's show. We always got value for the people, man. Documenting the collapse and positioning ourselves for the wealth transfer. Phenomenal show we got for y'all tonight. What's going on, everybody? What's good, brother?
Yeah, we got it packed in, guys. We got 100% gainer. We got the top 10 coins we're buying right now. We got the SEC lawyers getting fired. We got a DeFi position making over 400%. It's everywhere, man. So let's get right into this. If you guys are watching out there, Facebook changed their rules so we can no longer stream into the Runners Facebook group or Crypto on Crack. So if you guys are watching this, make a few comments, like it, share it out to get more eyes and views on this, break those algorithms. But Mims, I had to message you today.
Yeah.
And my baby, H-bar, Hedera hash graph that I've been screaming from the roofs, just buy this every week. Okay, that's what I've been doing. I just set up automating buys. It's called DCA, or dollar cost averaging. Hedera went up 102% today. We were at 8 cents or so, and we went up to basically almost 18 cents in one day. And why did that happen, guys? We've been talking about this for 6-8 months. It's called RWA, or real world assets. So BlackRock tokenizes money market fund on Hedera. H-bar soars. So the kind of important part to understand here, according to details in an announcement, the milestone follows Hedera council members Aberdeen's successful tokenization of its this is a money market fund, MMF, on Hedera last year. Aberdeen is the largest active wealth manager in the UK, and its flagship tokenized funds market marked a major milestone in the asset management industry. So that is from the H-bar Foundation. Today we witness RWA, again, real world assets, are being tokenized on the blockchain. This is history as BlackRock's ICS U.S. Treasury Money Market Fund is tokenized on Hedera with RCHX and Onera IO, marking a major milestone in asset management by bringing the world's largest asset manager on chain. Mims, this is why you're here. Make it make sense how huge this is.
Yeah, I mean, we've been helping people understand how huge it is to get into the narratives before they pop. And what you're seeing here is a pop in Hedera because of that narrative that we talked about with RWAs and real world assets. And this is obviously good to see because it just confirms what we already know. And, Mike, you did a video weeks ago, I think months ago, actually, telling people, about Hedera and how they can position themselves. And that's the thing, like the reason you want to make sure that you're following certain people and, that you're doing what they say is because more than likely they're doing what they say they're doing and they're in position to win and they're going to help you do the same thing. So a lot of the calls that we put out, on a lot of crypto plays or a lot of assets that we get is simply because we are in this market and we understand what's going on. And we want to help you guys position yourselves, for, like today, 100% increase, in an asset just because you know about it. In this space of blockchain and cryptocurrency, for a lot of people, it's so confusing. I mean, most people didn't even understand the stock market, let alone you're starting to talk about blockchain and Web3, and all the layers that come to this space. So a lot of times you just need to know who to follow and, just take some of the advice that they're giving or recommendations and get some of these assets that we're talking about. And obviously you can see one like Hedera, which is big ISO play as well. It's huge. Hedera should be in everybody's portfolio. Some portion of it, you can see right there, Mike got it up. H-bar, DeFi gems. Okay. And that was what, over a month ago, you know?
Yeah, it was like 45 days ago. I wanted to just get part of this video. Okay. So again, this is, you know, H-bar's website, right? Boeing, Dell, Google, LG, IBM, Hitachi, Ubisoft, tons of banks around the world. And then I talked about the one of the companies that is on their board. These are all the brands that they have, that they own. Cheese Nips, Chips Ahoy, Trident, Cadbury, Oreo, Halls, Triscuit, Dentine, Nabisco. Do you think Nutter Butter, Honey Maid? Nutter Butter ain't going anywhere, Ricardo. It's been here before I was born, and it'll probably be here after I'm gone.
Right.
So again, we're talking about BlackRock, Oreos, and Cadbury's and Ritz crackers, man. Like, this is what, like, people that don't grasp crypto and blockchain, I'm just blown away about how you cannot see, like, this is the future. This is what the world is going towards.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the stock market, and a lot of these companies are already big stocks, they're probably not going to have too much room to grow. But when you look at Hedera and you look at a lot of the ISO tokens and a lot of these projects that are dealing with real world assets and the blockchains, you're still so early. You're just massively early. I mean, we're talking about what, 8 cents to 18 cents per coin. That's nothing. Okay. In the stock world, that's penny stocks. I mean, and now we're talking about, these penny stocks becoming blue chip stocks. Okay. And they're talking about the wealth transfer that happens in that process. And it's not a get rich quick overnight thing, but it's the same thing like in the 2000s when you would have invested in the dot-coms. And then, obviously 10, 20 years later, if you were in the right place, the FANG stocks and things of that nature, right? The tech companies, you'll be sitting pretty. Okay. That's your retirement plan. But it might take 5, 10, 15, even 20 years. But I'm going to tell you what, it's better than a 401k. Okay. Right. It's better than these financial instruments and retirement plans that they have set up for people right now, or relying on Social Security, working 40 hours a week, 40 years of your life for 40% of wasn't enough in the first place. So get into some of these, and a little bit can go a long way. I mean, we're talking about somebody say, I don't have no money. I don't got extra money. 18 cents, for H-bar right now. Come on now. Where's it going to be in 5 years, 10 years from now? We're talking about you're investing in technology.
Right.
You see, it's technology investment. So you gotta dream bigger and have a little patience and just, make sure that you have something, that you are in the game at least, because you can't win at all if you're just on the sidelines watching. You got to get in the game, even if it's a small position. Get in the game.
Right. Yeah, have that long-term mindset. Just do something. Start somewhere, do something wherever you're at with what you got.
Yeah.
And Mims, you brought up a good point with the FANG stocks. Is, most of the growth in the stock market has come from the FANG stocks, or a very select few, if you don't know what that means. All right. So gold at 2,337, $15.6 trillion market cap. Microsoft, Apple, NVIDIA, which is that makes computer processors for, AI and gaming, Google, oil, Amazon, silver, and Bitcoin, and Facebook. Keep, going back and forth. But again, guys, we have been preaching and screaming for 5+ years, the top 3 assets you see here in the top 10, Bitcoin, silver, and gold. And every single stock or asset that you see here in the top 10 needs silver. Point blank, period. None of these things could exist without silver. They all use it. So that is why it is the most undervalued asset in the entire world, and it's not even close. So I love that silver is down 2% this week, Mims, because I know you had a nice purchase this week, and maybe just walk us through the mindset of why you were excited about that.
Yeah, when I see silver down right now, knowing that it was going to 28 and then we almost hit 30 and now it's coming back down a little bit, in my mind, I'm like, buy the dip. Okay, this is a buy the dip moment in metals, and sure, it might go lower, but the point is that you want to make sure that you have the asset. So me, I just purchased 16 maple leaves from one of the top suppliers around the world that allows you to get it literally no markup, no premiums at the best price. There's nobody on the planet that's beating this company, right? And so I got it from them, and it came in the mail within like 3 days. So I'm fired up and excited. I got the asset, got it at the best price, got it fast, you know. And as silver's going down, I'm just thinking about getting more. You know, I want to add another 100-ounce brick to the safe. You know, yeah,
You want the threesome?
yeah. I want the
Going for
threesome.
the threesome. Okay.
Well, I got more than you know, but yes, I do want to add. I want to add, you know. But look, folks, I mean, we show you guys this, you know, the top 10 assets, you know, almost every time we go live for a reason. You know, if you just continue to acquire these assets, you know, the gold, the silver, the Bitcoin, especially the silver and crypto, right? You know, you find yourself more financially secure. You find yourself being able to sleep better at night, you know, knowing that you can weather a potential loss in the job market because of what's going on in the economy. See, a lot of people take for granted where they're working because they've been working there for so long. But listen, when the economy collapses, you know, and not even have to be a full collapse, but with just the scenario that we're facing right now, there's going to be more people who lose their jobs. AI is taking over like crazy. I think we need to do a whole stream, maybe sometime soon, just on how serious the AI and robotics and the replacements of jobs and the different areas and segments. People don't really understand how huge that is. And so you just want to make sure that you have, you know, some type of strategy, something to fall back on, some assets, you know, and some wealth in those times. And that's what we've been doing. And in the process, we're getting wealthier and wealthier and more financially secure.
No, absolutely fire. And again, we are just documenting this collapse and what we're doing because we want to see as many of you win as possible. So I have 2 short clips this week that really show what could happen and what we are trying to save you and everyone else from. So this is a short clip from George Gammon, one of the top financial experts, I would say, in the world. He went to travel through Argentina for a week, and his whole goal was to get through Argentina without spending any dollars or using a credit card. So all they could use is Bitcoin, gold, and silver. And what he kind of discovered what was shocking to him. But I want to play this small clip here to show you guys what is possible when you have hyperinflation and money is being created. This is literally in the last month. We're not going back to Weimar, Germany in the 1920s. Okay. This month in Argentina, not a third world country. Okay. This is what it looks like.
Walking by, we did this live stream of, well, this is where we started it. And all these people that you see are queuing up for the ATM. Now watch this. Just for the ATM. So all these people are in line for the ATM just to get cash. I'm assuming it's because obviously it has something to do with hyperinflation. I'm assuming it's and that was actually wrong. It didn't really it didn't directly have anything to do with hyperinflation. I'll explain in a moment. Maybe they get some sort of interest rate, and they have to take their money out daily to pay the expenses. I'm not sure why. I mean, obviously it has to do with the monetary situation here. But I don't.
So did you catch that, Mims? Like just scroll back, because when he first starts this video, I'm thinking, okay, there's like, I thought the ATM was like here, right? So I'm thinking like, okay, there's probably like 30 people there. That is a lot of people waiting for an ATM. Right. But as it goes on, you see that the ATM is actually like even more around the corner and further down the road.
Yeah.
So
and while you're finding that, this is one
Yeah.
of the things that I always say, and even myself, is that you want to make sure you have an emergency fund. Imagine if an emergency took place, in the country or, whatever, and you don't have access to cash, and you're now one of those people who are trying to pull some money out the bank. And we have videos now where people are trying to pull out $3,000 out the bank and they can't get it out. The bank is not giving it to them. They don't have it or whatever reason. So, you always want to have an emergency fund, okay, to keep some cash in the safe, right? That you have access to. You don't want to be like this, especially in a time of need, in line, hoping to pull some money out of an ATM. But go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, and so this kind of right there by that big tree that's in the middle, the guy with the pink, black striped shirt over his head, that's where the bank is. Okay, so that's where there's an ATM, and then back it up and see where that line was at.
Yeah, that was serious.
Like that's got to be
normal. That's a normal.
Yeah,
obviously, like it's a normal day.
So
there.
I won't play it because it's kind of low and the guy's speaking Spanish. But so George goes up to this guy, and he knows a little Spanish. He's like, "Does this happen? Like, do you come here every day?" The guy's like, "See, yeah, we come here every day." And he's like, "And is this the normal like line that you wait?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, that we have to do this every day." So they're limited to getting out $40 a day in cash. $40 a day. That's all you can get out. So anything else that you had in the bank, you essentially can't use right now.
Yeah. You got to get ahead of these things, folks. I'm just saying because, obviously this is something that's going on around the world, and that's not the United States per se, but, you want to make sure that you have liquid cash assets. You don't want to be at the last minute, because unfortunately, a lot of people are just going to be at the last minute trying to buy silver or trying to buy Bitcoin or trying to pull some money out of the bank. And, I tell people all the time, I'd rather be 1 year, even 2 years too early than 1 day too late. Okay. Then to the largest wealth transfer in history or whatever it is. So you got to be proactive, and get ahead of this stuff, because we are in a financial crisis globally. And the monetary system is resetting and shifting right before our eyes. And you have to take note of that, and you have to take certain action at the same time.
No, 100%. Yeah. Guys, this is just what I do. I love it. Like I literally just study money, listen to people who are, millionaires and billionaires. So again, on George Gammon's channel, Rebel Capitalist, he had on Mark Moss, who's a really, famous entertainer, investor, big Bitcoin, gold, silver guy. So anytime I've gone to Mexico, Ricardo, or we've gone to Mexico, they want dollars, right? Because the peso typically is having more inflation than the dollar. And it was very easy to get rid of your dollars in Mexico. So I haven't been there in, I don't know, a year or two. And this kind of blew my mind because I couldn't even imagine going to Mexico and having this happen. So Mark Moss, who's been going to Mexico for about 20 years, kind of explains the current state of what is going on in Mexico with the dollar and the peso.
Nobody wants dollars there either, George. Nobody in Mexico wants dollars anymore. Now, I've been going to Mexico forever. And
what do they want? They
want pesos. The peso is so strong against the dollar. Nobody wants dollars in Mexico right now.
Right.
And this has been going on for a while since, when Trump got elected the first time, it was at 22 to 1. Right now, it's about 15 or 16 to 1, right? So the peso is very strong, and nobody wants the dollar in Mexico anymore. It's crazy. I've been going there forever. Dollar was almost the same as a peso down there, except for, I spend a lot of time in very remote parts of Mexico for my dirt bike trips and stuff like that. And in the more remote parts, they'll only take dollars on a steep discount, because they know they have to drive 2 hours to go exchange them for the pesos they need. It sort of reminds me of the free banking era. In the free banking era of the United States, the banks weren't allowed to open up multiple branches across multiple states. And so the further you got away from where that that currency unit was issued, the deeper the discount would be. And so when I'm using dollars, when I used to use dollars in remote parts of Mexico, I'd pay at a steep discount, sort of like what you offered in Argentina for Bitcoin or gold. But even in like Cabo San Lucas, they don't want dollars anymore. And I was in Santiago, Chile, and I couldn't find, I flew down with a couple $100 in my pocket. I couldn't find anyone to change them for me. My hotel wouldn't change them for me. And so it's the same thing, right? Nobody wants
the
dollars.
opposite.
Well, it's the opposite, but the point is that they need to kind of deal with the currency units that they have in that location, and they don't want dollars, they don't want Bitcoin, they don't want gold. They just need those currency units.
Well, Argentina, they wanted dollars.
They wanted
but
dollars.
What's interesting about that, though, Mark, I don't know if I told you this part, but you got a much better exchange rate on $100 bills.
Okay.
So if you, as an example, if you had a $100 bill, they'd give you like a 1,000 pesos for $1, let's say. But if you had a 20, they'd only give you like 900.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
So Mims, your take on that, it's I think it really just shows the power of currency and the kind of environment that you're trapped in with that currency.
Yeah, it was like that. When I went to Africa, it was the same way. Hundreds, had a better convertibility than the lower 20s and things of that nature.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That's right.
Yeah. It was the same way. And the thing about Mexico is that Mexico, the peso used to be backed by silver, if I'm not mistaken. And I know that Mexico has the world's largest, they're the largest producer of silver. What people don't understand is that there's not that many silver mines around the world. Usually silver is a byproduct they find in a gold mine. And so there's not gold mines per se, but there's not that many silver mines, right? And so Mexico actually is the largest producer of silver. And I'm thinking they have over 1,100 mines, silver mines in Mexico. So in very near future, we might see, just like Zimbabwe back their currency by gold, we might see Mexico back their currency by the peso by silver, which is something that they have actually been trying to do through Parliament, over the last decade or so. So that's another huge play, and that's what you're going to see here as the fiat currency debt model continues to collapse, inflation takes place, and things of this nature. You're going to see more governments start to realize that they have to back the currency by something stable. They can no longer play this exchange rate of fiat. And, this is why we're getting ahead of the curve. We understand what's going on. We understand the monetary system. And so it's important that, you just have a hedge. Saving in silver and gold is a hedge against financial crisis and inflation. And it's part of this reset. We're going in a reset away from debt to resource, back to real money, but I'm not surprised there. I'm not surprised at all with those exchange rates, or even to hear that people, in some countries don't want dollars. I mean, Mike, it was like that when we went to, when we were in Barcelona, Spain.
Yeah.
Me and Mike in Barcelona, we're at the table, with the team. And I think, Mike, would you drop 100 on the table for a tip? She was like, what am I gonna do with that?
I think it was like a 50. It was our photographer. Yeah, our photographer,
where we go,
needed something or something. I'm like, hey, here's a 50.
Yeah.
She looked at it like it was a piece of shit. She was like,
what
am I going to do with this?
Yeah. She didn't want it. So it's interesting. It's just interesting. And you have to watch what the rest of the world is doing, because we are part of the world, obviously. Right. And the shift is happening where the G7 nations are in decline. Okay. The West is in decline, and BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, the Eastern nations are in ascending, and they're actually ascending at a greater rate than the G7. So that's going to shift things.
Yep. Unfortunately, America has made decisions that have weakened it, and hope we get back there. But at this moment, we're
well,
we
Mike,
won't go into that right now.
were you going to pull up anything on the money that they just passed through Congress and Senate? Were you going to pull up anything, or I could just speak on it for a second?
If you want to speak on it for a second, go for it.
Well, just because you kind of mentioned America and obviously what we're doing with the money. But I mean, folks, you got to understand, like right now, and I think in Congress and I believe it passed the Senate, they're about to spend, I think it was it 91 or 61 billion dollars? I think it was like $61 billion or so to give more money to Ukraine for the war, to give more money for Israel for the genocide, and to give more money, for Taiwan, for the proximity war that they have over there with China and Taiwan. And what we're seeing is they're just printing money, adding digits to the string, creating more debt, creating more inflation, while they continue to ignore the American people, wanting to fix the border, we literally have illegal immigrants here. They're getting thousands of dollars a month. They're getting free housing. They're getting health care. I mean, it's crazy what you find out in a lot of these New York and Chicago and a lot of places, what they're providing for the illegal immigrants. And then when you find out how many people have actually came, millions, we're talking about millions, over 10 million people. And then you're talking about a couple million of them, a million or two of them are unaccounted for, and it's just crazy what's going on here. But I'm bringing that up because we're talking about trends, and we're getting ahead of the curve, and we're trying to hedge and diversify and build wealth and secure our financial futures for ourselves and make sure that a wealthy family comes from us in the process. And these are things that you have to be aware of and consider as you adjust and move forward in your own strategy for yourself and your family. But yeah, I want to touch on that because it's just crazy that we find money for wars but can't feed the poor. You know what I mean? In the words of Tupac.
No, I love it, man. 100%. We try to not get political, but there just comes a point to where enough is enough, guys. I mean, at this point, whatever party you typically vote for, everyone I talk to, and I have friends all over the political spectrum, they're like, we got to do something about immigration. We got to do something about the homelessness. We got to do something about our money and the inflation. And that's what, we've been trying to bring you guys.
Yeah, that's what I was saying in Palestine. Yeah, all that. But I mean, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Go ahead.
All right. So I threw this together today. Again, not investment advice. I'm going to tell you what we are doing with our money right now. Okay. I think we are about at the bottom of this dip. Okay. So I'm starting to deploy capital back into the market. So I'm going to share with you guys what I'm doing. I'm not saying to go out and buy these coins right now. I'm saying to look at them, study them, and research them and see if you like them and you think they have a bright future. And some of these I've missed. Okay, guys, one thing in crypto is you have to be open to change. Okay, don't just listen to a few people. Don't just say, well, I'm going to do this and put your blinders on and just be like, I'm only doing this project. That's it. I don't see anything else. That's the worst thing you can do with crypto. Okay. So, Mims, I might shock you with some of these, but I've been doing a lot of research in this last week. So, and I feel stupid for missing this one. Okay. This is Telegram's token, guys. Telegram has almost 1 billion users in the world, and they're going to be able to send their cryptocurrency through messages.
Yeah.
I don't need to say anything else. Okay.
Yeah, I know that came out. I don't know why. Yeah,
I don't know why we didn't do it either.
I kind of missed it.
Listen, we can't hit everything, guys. Don't beat yourself up. Okay. It's in the top 10 and they haven't even really launched their DeFi. So I just want to get some tokens. I'm not saying I'm dropping 10 grand into this, but I'm getting some tokens and getting on their DeFi. Okay. Telegram, ton. It's in the top 10. Okay. It's down 11% this week. All right. So this is on my automatic buy. I'm buying this every week. I don't know when I'll stop, but I'm doing that now. And I did this before the 99% pump, or the 100% pump today, Ricardo. Okay. I've been telling the runners DCA, dollar cost average into HBAR for the last year. I've shown you guys how to do DeFi on it. Do not buy this token today. Okay. It will most likely retrace or come down, and then you can decide when you want to buy. All right. We've already talked about Hedera. I think this is going to be a top 10 coin easy and has a bright future because it has so many like fundamental, huge enterprise adoption, like we talked about before. Everyone's going to keep eating Oreos. I don't see Oreos stopping. Now, this is a new token I've heard about. I've learned about it, but I just didn't get the vision until this week and when I really did a deep dive. This is essentially the world's supercomputer. It's probably the most advanced technology that is in blockchain. and there are tons of airdrops coming. They basically have no DeFi yet. I think they're still on a test net. Okay. So I'm going to start, even though it's still number 56. Okay. It's got a 2.2 billion market cap. I'm going to start to accumulate Arweave to get into their ecosystem. All right. Research them. See if you like them. And, but I would definitely get some because they have some massive airdrops coming up. Probably cover them on my YouTube. Next. Sui. Okay. Sui kind of has like a karate montage with it. Why I like Sui memes. I think this could be the next Solana. Okay. There were a bunch of developers at Meta Facebook, and they left Meta Facebook when they were working on their blockchain, whatever they were going to do back in the day. And they started a new computer programming language called Move. And they kind of, I don't know, had a disagreement. The development team did. So half of them went to Aptos, half of them went to Sui. Okay. I think they're both decent coins, but at this point, I like Sui more. I've already used it. I got the wallet. I've already done DeFi. I've already done airdrops. I listened to their CEO talk a lot this week. So for me, I think Sui is the one that can break out. They're also, the big thing here is they're focused on bringing Web 2 in to get Web 3. So you can start using their blockchain without having to get, your own wallet and seed words and all that. You can literally do it with like a Google login, a Microsoft login, an X login, which I think is huge because we all need user adoption. The other thing is Sui is focusing on gaming. The gaming market cap of like, video games that people play and online is like bigger than everything else in the world. So the blockchain that can bring on the gamers is the one that's going to win. So with all those narratives working for it, I literally bought more Sui this week, and I'm going to show you guys how to do DeFi and earn about 100% plus APY on this. Mims, before I go further, we have 10 of these coins. Any insight or, you want to give the people out there?
No, I think this is great. A lot of these coins people probably haven't heard of. They don't understand what they do. And like Mike said, obviously there are 10 coins here that we're getting ready to show you, and make sure you take your time to, do your own due diligence as well, and read them out. Of course, we've done ours, and Mike has done extensive research. That's why he's recommending them, and of course we have a bag in them. But no, I think you're doing good. I think obviously one of the questions that most people are going to have is how do you buy? So maybe you can click on one of them eventually and just show people how to click on markets, and you can just see all the exchanges and places they can buy. Yeah,
for sure. And Mims, this caught me off guard today. Again, I can't keep track of everything.
Right.
I'm going to see if you know this. What price do you think BNB is at right now?
500, 450. Where is it?
All right, you were more in line than I am. I just remember BNB being at like 300-ish.
Yeah, it was like 200. Yeah, 2-3. Yeah, it was like a 2-3 and a bear. Yep. Oh wow, so back at 6. I knew it was gonna go up.
I kind of like, in March I was doing other things.
Yeah.
And I just remember I was talking to somebody on the phone about crypto. I'm like how much is a BNB? I'm like, I don't know, like 300 whatever something, because I'm like remembering this time period.
It was like what, 6 months ago?
No, that was in March.
When was it 200 something? It was like 2. I remember it was like 2. It was going between 2 and 300, maybe like 6.
That was February.
Wow. Yeah.
That was like 2 months ago.
2 months ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. Like, whatever low 300s. I don't pay attention to, couple.
Yeah, we should have. Yeah, I should have. We should be surprised. But yeah, BNB. I think the last bull run, this was about the high that it got to. It was around 600.
Yeah.
Yep. It was around. Yep. So we're at that. At that point there.
So I'm not saying this is a good buy now. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
This would have been the good buy at 200 in September, and but it just. There's so many ways to make money here. You can't do it all. So just pick a couple and focus on those.
Yeah, and that's a good point, because obviously, obviously there's 10 projects here. You might be like, all right, let me get a little bit of all 10. But it's probably better that you target, 2 or 3 that speak to you, and you put a position into those 2 or 3. Because you can't be in everything. There's so much out here, and it's more coming. It's hard to keep track of, but just you know what you hold, like what you hold, and learn what you hold. You know what I mean? And you'd be all right. You should be good.
Yes, and yeah, I'll go to show you guys, like, I'll just break down one coin and be like, okay, where can we buy this?
Yeah.
Because that's something you should never have to ask anyone, is where do I buy this token?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll show you guys how to do that here in just a minute. Shout out to Patrice watching tonight. Thanks for jumping on, girl. I know you got you got an H-bar bag, so I knew you were happy tonight. All right. Now this is one that I probably bought more of this week than anything else. It's called Aerodrome Finance. This is on the base chain. Okay, like Coinbase. So it's not super easy to get. You got to learn DeFi. That's why you want to run with the runners. This is like the Uniswap, or the main decentralized exchange for the Coinbase blockchain. Okay. And I'm buying this right now. I'll show you guys here in a minute. I think I'm getting 80%. Something like that. Here, let me check real quick and I'll show you my other one. 111% APY. Okay. I don't have a huge position right now. All right. Just 127 of them, but I'm getting 111% APY because I'm loaning it out. So I can hold this in my own wallet. Okay. But I'm loaning it out for people to borrow, and I'm getting 111% APY. So right now, I think this is a super smart move because tons of people are moving to Base. We can go to DeFi Llama and look at the top locked assets in the space. And Base is number 6. It's gone up 100% in the last month. Blast, which I've been talking about, getting the airdrop, is number 7. Okay. So this is where I see money flowing, Base and Blast.
Yo, Tron is number 2.
I still don't get it, man. I think it's just the Chinese Communist Party is holding it up. I say that all the time. I'm like, I don't know anyone who uses Tron other than the Chinese government and criminals, but I don't know what they're doing.
Right.
Okay, 1 second here. Let me reset this. Oh, my bad. Actually, let me show you guys this. This is kind of what we're going to teach you guys in the free runner school. So if you look down below on Facebook or YouTube, we have a free link to our new school, and we're going to show you guys how to DeFi. Okay, this is one of my favorite positions right now. I started with about 3,500 2 weeks ago or so, up to about almost 4,300 now. Okay, so this is a liquidity pool of OVN and USD plus. To me, it's like an early Aave. They do a lot of DeFi and stuff that's complicated to explain. Okay, but this is making me $38 a day, which is an APR of 323%. Where is the daily at? The daily's right around 1%. Okay, and this isn't like, I'm sending it to some third-party entity. Oh, it's at 0.89 now. Okay, so it is coming down. But for now, I've made about $700 off 3,500 in 2 weeks or so. So I'm happy with that. And I think it's, these are the things that you have to monitor them, and, it'll last for a month or two. But I mean, bro, this is crazy interest.
Yeah.
I was looking at my parents' annuities today. Their fund that they had most of their money in did 1.5% this year.
Damn. That's horrible. I mean, 1.5. Well, what's inflation in the last year?
Well, if you believe the government, it's been like 7%.
So it's probably like 20.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, at least. You got to give yourself options, folks. You got to spread some money around. There's risk in everything except gold and silver, by the way. Zero risk assets. They will always have value. Never go to zero. Money all around the world. But if you want to have more exposure, you want to have your money maybe grow for you at a greater rate than what gold and silver provides, being a zero risk asset, then you definitely want to make sure you get into DeFi and blockchain and crypto.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Now this one I have not bought yet. Okay. But I've heard too many people that I know what they're doing in this space talk about it to not at least get a position. So I did put it on my weekly DCA buy. So I will buy some on Sunday. I recommend buying on Sunday because typically prices tend to be lower on Sunday in general. Okay. Because the markets are closed and people are just chilling, relaxing. So I set up my automatic buys weekly on Monday. I buy Bitcoin and Ethereum every day. So Pendo is a way to trade derivatives, and it's more like TradFi. Like traditional finance will use Pendo. So like the big boys, Wall Streets, all the huge hedge funds will use Pendo. Now this one's an underdog. Now we're going into the more risky stuff. Okay. Hash AI. Since when I bought it, it's gone down about 50%. I don't care. I want to buy more. Okay. They're essentially mining tokens that are proof of work, and they're using an AI to start and stop. So like they might like mine Bitcoin for 2 hours because that makes the most sense with what they have. And then the AI might be like, well, now we should be mining Caspa, and now we should mine Bitcoin Cash. So they're using AI, and they have like, different processors and whatever. And then there also is a way for passive income.
A little mutual fund you got going on there, huh?
Yeah. Now this is risky. Only $150 market cap. But so far, I like what I'm seeing. So I'm going to continue to double down on Hash AI.
150 million. Yeah.
This is my baby. This is my baby, guys. Okay. OPSEC. Let's go into OPSEC. Just so you guys can kind of see the roller coaster you go on in cryptocurrency.
And that's a good point. It is a roller coaster. Don't get emotional. Know what you hold. Okay. What goes up must come down. Okay. There are always opportunities. The crypto market is 24/7.
Yep. So I found this gem back in January, right around 16 cents. Okay.
Yeah.
So actually it might have been here-ish, maybe early February. Okay. But we bought in the teens. Okay. And we rode this up. It hit well over $3 on the exchanges I was on. It got up to like 320. Okay. So 15 cents to over $3. Okay. Now, once we got up to this area, I was what I do called swing trading. Okay. So I was taking profit. When it went up, I would sell. When it went down, I would buy. So all this time where you see these huge chops, right? I'm leveraging that. Okay. This is more of an advanced thing. If you're new, don't do it. Okay. So I got tons of profit out of here. So now when this comes down, I don't care. Okay. Because I have stable coins or USD to buy it, or I went into other coins that are, going up and down as well. But to me, this is a screaming buy. You're almost down 3x from the high.
Yeah.
The market cap's only 118. It's already hit over 300. Nothing's changed in the market. It's just cooled off. The market cooled off. Rather than buying OPSEC at 3, you can buy it at $1.26 now.
Yeah.
This is AI, guys. This is an AI play. AI is a huge narrative.
And one thing that I love about stuff like this is that it will give you an idea of what the market will do. You know what I mean? So this is OPSEC, first like real big pop, right? Up to $3 and some cent. Now it retraced. Now it's down to $1 something, which is a great time to buy in. When you look at the chart, its support is like right around here. So now you saw what it did. Now imagine, add a little time to that, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, 36 months. where is something of this? That's why we said know what you hold. Do research. Like Mike said, this is AI, so it's the AI narrative. We know AI is big, and then as you start to dive deeper into OPSEC and what they're doing, their partnerships and everything else, it'll give you more faith. Like, okay, if I held this for the next 3 to 5 years, even if I got it at $3, this is probably going to be way more than worth $3 3 to 5 years from now. You know what I mean? So don't necessarily treat it as a get rich quick per se. And of course, some projects are here and then they're gone as well. So there's no guarantees, with any of this. But we are, in front of this revolution with blockchain and AI and technology. And there's going to be some winners and losers. But if you're in the game long enough and you're holding and you're well diversified, you should be amongst the winners.
And I'll tell you guys, these last two have not done well. Okay, they have not popped. But I did my research. I'm confident in them. Okay. And I'm kind of glad they're down. Now, the first one, Mint Layer, okay, has not done a whole lot. This is a Bitcoin layer 2 solution. There's been other Bitcoin layer 2 stuff that has popped. This one has not yet. Okay. Now it has gone up to $1. Okay. It's at 35 cents right now. But I think the technology they have here, if they deliver on what they have said, I think has the ability to go up 50, maybe 100x. Okay. But you have to be patient. Okay. Things pop at different times or different narratives. I think this is a great project. I'm sticking to it. I bought some more this week at 35 cents. I'm happy with it. Okay. Now, this last one, I think, is the sleeping giant. Okay. This one, I think, will be one of the last ones to pop. And when it pops, it'll pop big and might stick around for a long time. Okay. This is called Corium. Doesn't even have a rank, Mims. No rank for Corium. Okay. This is bringing on real world assets, which we talked about at the beginning of the show, using XRP. So if you are into XRP or the ISO 20022 narrative, okay, Corium is the one doing that on XRP's ledger. We're staking it right now, earning 20%. We're getting another airdrop tomorrow, and we have 2 more to go in Pulsera because we stake our Corium. Their XRP is now on decentralized finance because of Corium. It's on the Corium blockchain in DeFi. Okay, you can now bridge XRP to Corium. So if you are into XRP or the ISO 20022 narrative, for me, Corium is the sleeping giant, and at 11 cents, it's a steal. Mims, I know that is your big narrative. So anything that you would add to the XRP army out there?
No, I think you did a phenomenal job, and I think that's obviously huge. For XRP, to be able to bridge that over in the Corium, and then for those who are serious about this, if I am listening to somebody who is articulating well what these projects are and is giving me some insight, and he tells me that a couple of the projects he looked at have not even popped yet. In fact, they're down a significant amount. If you're smart, those are the projects you might want to do more research into to see if this is an opportunity to buy. Because unfortunately, most people want to buy when it's, they want to buy BNB at 600. Oh, right. BNB went up to 600. It was 200. Let's buy BNB. No,
let's buy it. Bro, HBAR went up 100% today. Let's buy it.
Yeah, let's buy HBAR 100% because we heard about it. No, that's not how you want to do this.
Buy red. Sell green.
Right.
When it goes up, you take some profit. When it goes down, you buy.
Yeah. And so that's what I would say. It feels counterintuitive, like, oh, this is going down. Should I buy this? If you've done your due diligence and you're listening to somebody else who's done their due diligence, and then you've looked out in the market and you've got a bigger idea of what this really is, then yes, you want to buy when in the red, and you want to sell green. And
I've had this is good because, again, Ricardo, like, we got to remember we've been through 3 cycles now. Okay. But a lot of new people are reaching out to us. All right. Again, people hitting me constantly up every day about what should I do? How do I get started? Okay.
I'd be surprised if you hit me up, Mike. People who for years they talk about they've been watching you, or people you know from years ago.
Right.
And next thing you know, you just start getting random texts like, "Where you been at?"
Right.
You know?
That's what happens in the bull run. People you haven't heard of from in 2 years pop up again.
Right.
But shout out to Barry Thornton, owns the one of the best restaurant in Greenville, the Winter Inn. Make sure you guys check it out. And Barry's been around this space for a while. I love what you're saying. The hardest asset is Bitcoin. Buy it, hold it, and don't sell it. Yes. The number one rule of Bitcoin is we don't sell Bitcoin. You buy Bitcoin and you just never sell it. It's literally not even part of like, you just forget about it. Okay. It no longer exists. It's your long-term savings plan. You don't even need to look at it. Okay. You set that up. We show you guys how to do that with Swan. You could be $2 a day, $2 a day, $60 a month. That's a meal at McDonald's these days. so
yeah. And the last thing I want to do, Mike, before we bring up the debt box thing, can you just go to one of the coins and show people how to click on?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. So OPSEC is a very, it's not super widely traded. Okay. So, and when we got there was almost no places to trade it other than Uniswap. Most tokens that launch now will launch on Ethereum, the blockchain, on Uniswap. And I like Ethereum. I think it's going to do great, but it is very expensive and it's a little bit slower. So just to buy the token, it might cost you $10 to $50, depending on the time of day. So when you go to something like CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, okay, you're going to search for the token. So I'm going to search for OPSEC. Okay, there it is. The first thing you want to look at is the market cap, not the price. Okay. Again, we talk about this all the time, guys. The price does not really matter. The market cap is what matters. It's $119 million market cap. That is still very, very small. Now, I like to find them below 50 million. I love to find them below 10 million. The earlier you can get in, the more risk, but higher the reward. All right, we can see here. The fully diluted means once all the tokens are out, what would the market cap be? And this is another reason why I like OPSEC. There's 100 million total, but 99 million are already out. I'm sorry, 94 million right here, circulating supply. Okay. So there's only 5 million that have not been released to the market. You don't want to have, 50%, 70% of the tokens that aren't out yet. Because when those tokens comes out, it causes inflation. All right. So I'm going to go to markets and it will tell me where OPSEC is traded. Now, again, guys, this is Uniswap on Ethereum, DeFi, paying $10 to $50 for a trade. Most people can't do that. That's why this token is still so low. Okay, people can't buy this on Robinhood or crypto.com or Coinbase. Okay, now I've been using CoinEx, okay, which you're going to need some guidance on how to do that because that's a centralized exchange. That's how I was swing trading OPSEC when everyone else was having to buy on Uniswap and pay a bunch of fees on Ethereum, okay, or BingX, which I've never used, so I can't speak to them. But that's it. 3 places in the entire world you can buy this token, and it's already gone up, I don't know, 10, 15, I don't remember, 15 cents to $3. You do the math, okay? But that's how you find out where you get a token. Just make sure you have the right ticker, like OPSEC. You can double check the, I can show you guys this. Always check the contract, okay? Don't just go to Uniswap and search something. Go to CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap. Look at the address. Make sure it's the right address and you have the right token that you're buying. But again, the fact that this isn't available anywhere else. So when tokens come to Coinbase and crypto.com, we are the ones selling them to the new people coming in. And that's when we're cashing out because you're running with the runners.
Yeah. So any project you're looking for, go to CoinMarketCap, click on markets, and you'll see where they're at. Another place we use for some projects, not all projects are there, but ChangeNow.io. We've been, letting people know about that for years.
Yep.
And Rango Exchange as well. Yeah, you can pull that up, and then we can get into DebtBox and.
Yeah, this is just a way to trade decentrally, so you don't have to always go to exchanges, and it's just way easier and less hassle to deal with. So you can, if you got Bitcoin and you need Ethereum or you need USDT or Solana or XRP, you can just come here and do it. This is what we teach you guys. All right, last thing tonight, guys. SEC lawyers resign following controversial DebtBox case.
Yeah, you got them 2 bricks, Mike? I don't got my bricks on me. Go do a money clap for that. No, it's okay. It's okay.
I'd have to get them out of the safe right now.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. But that's awesome. Go ahead, brother. Yeah, we got to clap it up. We just got to clap it up.
Give us some love in the comments, guys, if you are in the debt box. 2 SEC lawyers have resigned following controversies in the regulator's legal case against crypto firm DebtBox. Bloomberg reported on April 22nd that Michael Welsh and Joseph Watkins, who served as lead SEC attorneys in the ongoing case, resigned in April. The regulatory reportedly intended to terminate both lawyers if they did not resign. So essentially they were fired, but they gave them the dignity of resigning. Of course, they did not respond to its request for comments. What did they do, though, is they got a SWAT team sent to multiple people's homes with children who have scarred them for life.
Right.
So this is just the beginning of what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's like, remember that time the government lied on us and sent the SWAT team with guns to our house?
Yeah. And then they just resigned, and the SEC won't say anything, and the union representative won't say anything. They haven't updated their LinkedIn. They've been serving as SEC trial lawyers for approximately 18 months. Later, proceedings found SEC counsel had made false and misleading statements to justify the request of ruining thousands of people's lives, including wrongfully suggesting DebtBox had closed accounts 48 hours before a hearing. The SEC admitted to errors in December 2023 and attempted to drop the case in January. DebtBox later challenged the attempted dismissal. Thank you, Judge Robert Shelby, who we should put this dude on Mount Rushmore, sanctioned the SEC for abuse of power in March and compelled the agency to pay legal fees in the case. Mims, your take on this? It's the first step of justice, but we have a long way to go.
I mean, it's crazy that we are part of such a big project, in our opinions, and for them to have went up against, Goliath, and essentially are being vindicated, that there was no fraud, that they are legitimate in what they're doing. And we've known this, this is why when we found out about this, opportunity with real world assets, by the way, RWAs, there's that narrative. When we found out about this, we knew that was it. Like, we had to go to Ghana. We had to make sure everything was on the up and up there. And it just feels good. It feels good. And shout out, of course, to the Debt Army. Shout out to the Debt Council, the DebtBox and everybody in ecosystem. I'm still very bullish. Obviously, I know that there's going to be some more great news and things to come down the line as we recover, because this was massive, Mike. I mean, we have companies that had employees that, we had infrastructure that needed to be ran 24/7 that automatically just stopped.
Yeah.
I mean, we had operations around the world, Ghana, and places people were getting paid and they just stopped getting paid. And I mean, it was just so much damages and repair. It's, hundreds of millions of dollars. People really don't even understand and can't fathom how devastating this was to the ecosystem, how devastating this was to the, to the blockchain. I mean, well, to the DebtBox, right? And for us as holders, I mean, It was huge. So to recover from something like that, even though we have some good news, folks, it's not overnight. Everything just goes right back to where it is. You know what I mean? But what we have is clarity. One thing we know for sure is that they can't say that box was doing fraud. Okay. We beat that case already. And now you see the SEC laws. And this is really unprecedented because never before has the SEC looked this bad and actually had to have some of their lawyers step down in a crypto case. But all this is because they don't have no clarity. There's no clarity in the market, you know, and they're trying to you know, just sue everybody, but they ain't write the rules yet. You know, that's not how it's supposed to be done. You know, it's just horrible, but you know, it's good news for the debt box. It's good news for the debt ecosystem, and I'm very bullish in debt going into 2025.
Yeah, 100%. So, you know, the wheels of justice run slow. I think that's a saying. I don't know, but I just made it up.
Yeah, it sounds about right. I heard something.
All right. So last thing, guys, is again down below we have the new SKOOL. We're going to be doing weekly meetings. I'm going to be dropping some calls in there when I start buying more. Again, everything I shared with you guys tonight, people in the runners already knew. They already knew about buying HBAR before it goes up 100%. So this is going to allow us to have a lot more courses. We're going to have free courses on here on how to learn decentralized finance, get into, you know, yield farming that gets you 400% APY. I'm going through a test for something else right now, but once that's done, I'm going to be building this out. We'll also be doing, you can get one-on-one coaching calls. So again, just join down below the free runner SKOOL community, and we're going to be building in there for the long term to help you guys win with your mindset, manifestation, and momentum with this cryptocurrency market and precious metals. Mims, I think that's it. Fire show, bro. Like, we covered so much tonight. I know you guys' head are spinning, but man, we just got to get this info out.
Yeah, let me say this. It might be over a lot of people's heads. You know, they don't really understand the lingo, and this is all new territory. Well, let me say this for that person, whether you're just like not tech savvy, not really interested in the crypto, not you know, don't understand all this. The best thing that you can do is get in silver, get into precious metals. Okay. There is a digital opportunity in this wealth transfer, and there is a physical opportunity in this wealth transfer. Okay. And for those who want to, you know, take the easier route, but more assured route of always having something of value and wealth, maybe not experiencing the massive gains that happen in the crypto space, but still experiencing growth, because obviously if you just hold on to dollars, your dollars are losing value because of inflation. So make sure that you're saving in assets, you know, physical silver, constantly, continuously, consistently, even if it's 1 ounce a month. Okay. If you're watching this live stream right now and you're not saving 1 ounce of silver a month, you should be doing that. You really need to understand why. And that's why we're here, to help you understand that. We're going to be putting a lot of that information as well inside the SKOOL. And of course, we've just been preaching this for, you know, years now. Right. But get physical silver. You know, this is how you save your money. God's money, constitutional money, money all around the world. Okay. Physical silver and gold, you know, keep it simple, you know, keep it simple, keep it safe. And yeah, fire live stream tonight. We don't stop, man. We don't stop, you know, we just getting better with time.
That's it. Mims, you brought up a good point. When I started buying silver, it was 1 ounce a month. Yeah. Five years ago, 1 ounce a month. I'm not going to tell you how much I have now, but it's a lot more.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You guys can do this, okay? It's about starting small and taking action wherever you're at. Don't do the hype, hope, wait until the timing's perfect. Okay, no. Start today buying assets on autopilot.
Yep.
All right? We want to see you guys win. We love you guys. You guys have a great week. We'll see you guys next week. Lace up. Let's get well.